I'm changing locations and shit. Man, get into this motherfucking bag. Stand up the way, I mean. Sacrificing time for this shit, man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago, they ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool, I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace, I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend, we should try again. You been on my mind, you should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl, you know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand love, you know that I...
Henny the Moore reporting live from the liquor store, man. And when all three of us come together, man, it's Cowboys Uncut.
Scottis.
West Coast Cowboy in the middle, the Kanye West of this content stuff.
And I'm a day one type of girl. Ain't nothing wishy-washy over here. I don't jump around, stick to one side. Yeah, the silver, the blue, we got them in their feelings. That star on the field, come pay the D a visit. They say it's hatred, is it? I call it hate and simping. Cause if we wasn't that hating, they wouldn't be in our business. Listen, West Coast say the water tastes better. The fan base go harder, and all the ladies get wetter. Yeah, that's how it is when you straight reppin' for Dallas. We get it in the trap, and landlord tell us what's happening. No explanations in no shape, form, or fashion. When Henny drop the stats, ain't nothing else to be asking. Them numbers don't lie, that's why your argument dry. And we still got them rings, you got your eyes on our prize. Whether an eagle, a giant, or a commando, you in the parking lot crying, we in the Lambo, we stay in our bag, we run it up in the draft. You still talking about the 90s, so who's stuck in the past? Get off me, and I'ma need you 6 feet back. And we ain't hearing nothing till your team beat Dak. And we ain't scared of running. So one team over here is Cowboys, believe it. Yeah, this you got is the poet. Big up West Coast Cowboys, HTM Sports, and Landlord from Alabama. Y'all check them boys out, man. Don't play around with the Cowboys content. Yeah, and you know it's DC. Yeah, DC 4L. All day, every day.
My dear Aunt Sally, we is at the P right now. We gotta go to free agency, then we gotta go to draft, then we can talk about training camp.
And Stephen Jones, who's also a multi-millionaire, moves and feels like a what? Like a dude that is got $15 in his bank account.
We finna come marching to Dallas with our picket signs, ticket torches, everything we can find.
And we are live. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, Henny the Moore, reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing? You know, happy Sunday. Peace and blessings upon all y'all, man. I know some of y'all up getting ready for church. I know some of y'all up just chilling, sipping coffee, man, because we old. And we ain't trying to go nowhere. We got a whole work week to get out the way, starting tomorrow. So whatever you're doing, wherever you're at in the world, I appreciate y'all for taking time out y'all day to slide into the liquor store. And listen, it's Sunday, it's the Sabbath. We ain't gotta get slappy drunk, disgusted. We ain't gotta be passed out, blackout drunk. But we can come in the liquor store. We can take a little ski taste of some wine, some communion wine, and be just fine, man. So slide on in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share if you care. And we gonna chop it up for about an hour or so, man. But the reason I come to y'all today, the reason I jumped up right early, made my coffee, and decided to jump on a live stream is because folks is out here tweaking, man. Like, initially, this show was going to be about if Dak Prescott is still a top 10 quarterback. But, I seen a tweet, and really it's just a memory. They had showed the play, the Green Bay play, not the dead dropped it play, but they showed the Aaron Rodgers play against the Dallas Cowboys in the playoff game back in 2016. And it was 3rd and 20. There was 12 seconds left on the clock. If the Dallas Cowboys get a stop, they force a punt, and they can either try and run the punt back to end the game, try to get in the field goal range, run it back for a touchdown, or they could have kneeled it out, how they got that punt. And, just took it to overtime. Shout out to Justin, man, with the cash app. My boy hit me with the Cash App, man. It's for the fire content. I appreciate you for the love and support, man. If y'all want to be like my brother Justin and support the content, the Cash App is at the bottom. $ hit it more. Just make sure you hit it, or you can hit the super chats or the super stickers. We back monetized now. But I appreciate y'all all for the love and support, man. Y'all the realest out there. So instead of that happening, instead of the Dallas Cowboys getting an opportunity to take the game into overtime, or try and run it back to get in field position for a field goal, or trying to run it back for a touchdown, instead of one of those scenarios happening, Aaron Rodgers escaped the pocket, rolled out, and completed a 35-yard pass on a rope to Cook, the tight end, to set up the game-winning walk-off field goal. And it made me start thinking, man, that game was 31-31. All we had to do was get one defensive stop to really have a legit opportunity to win that football game. And it just didn't happen. So it made me just sit back and think, man, is it fair to put all of the blame on Dak Prescott for the woes the Dallas Cowboys have in the postseason, man? Because listen, I understand when you talk about the quarterback position. When you talk about the quarterback position, they get more blame than they need to, but they also get way more credit than they need to. On a 53-man roster, the play of one individual player should not and cannot be the only deciding factor in winning and losing a football game. If your team is predicated on only one player playing well in order to win football games, you are a poorly constructed team. You just are a poorly constructed team. So let's talk about it, man. Let's just sit back and talk about it. How many of the playoff losses would we put on Dak Prescott? Because listen, man, I posted this. This is what I posted. It got way more traction than I thought it would. I got Eagles fans from burner accounts arguing with me at 8 a.m. in the morning. They ain't brushed their teeth. They ain't washed their ass. They just jump on Twitter talking crazy. They ain't did shit. They still funky and musty from the day before, but they want to jump underneath my tweet talking crazy at 8 a.m. in the morning. They ain't talk to God. They ain't say, thank you, Lord, for waking me up this morning. They just jumped up under the post talking crazy, making dick jokes because they freaked out Diddy Warriors, man. So, this is the post that I put up, man. And when you really sit back and think about it, man, he said, can you grab the camera from Lamar Jackson? He said, so when you really sit back and think about it, man, there's a lot of things that happen in these playoff games outside of Dak Prescott's play. Like, Dak Prescott has some great playoff games. He has some good playoff games. He has some okay playoff games. And he has some downright bad playoff games. It's a mixed bag. But I can guarantee you he's played well enough to win more than two. But here we go down the line of some of the situations that happened. So 2016, I said 35-yard completion on 3rd and 20 to lose the game. And that's exactly what happened. There were only 12 seconds left in the game when the ball was high. Aaron Rodgers escaped the pocket, eluded the pass rush, completed a 35-yard pass to Jared Cook on the sideline, and it set up a 51-yard field goal that Mason Crosby hit to end the game, right? The game was tied 31-31. Dak Prescott threw 3 touchdowns. His only turnover came on a screen pass that was not blocked correctly, so a defender was able to get in the backfield and pick off the pass intended for Cole Beasley. 2018, Dak Prescott was 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. He said 5-12 Dallas 2025. Ken James be talking crazy, but that's my boy though. Salute my boy Kenny. And listen, if you want to bet money, because remember, you ain't gotta even bet me. The over/under for the Dallas Cowboys win total this year is only 7.5 games. So Ken, if you really believe what you're saying, you could take you about $1,000, bet the under for the Dallas Cowboys win, and walk away handsomely. If you're really just yapping and you really feel differently, you ain't got to tell me, but you can go take that same $1,000 and bet the over, and it'll still be some decent money. But yeah, it's only the win total is only 7. So Ken, if you think the Dallas Cowboys gonna be 5-12, put some money on it. And you ain't got to bet with me. Go to a sports book. 7.5 over under is amazing odds. Like you're guaranteed to win money one way or the other. But yeah, man. Back to what we were talking about. 2018. Dak Prescott 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. We still lost that game 30-22 because the Rams ran for 273 rushing yards, man. The defense gave up ass the entire game. Todd Gurley with degenerating knees. He had a degenerative knee issue. Still ran for over 100 yards. Oh, the other boy, man, C.J. Anderson. Fresh off the couch. Man was out the league, got the call, suited up. He had sort of a bill band. He had a dead bye going on. And he ran for more yards than Todd Gurley did against the Dallas Cowboys, man. So that Dallas Cowboys rushing defense was injured, right? They came in with some injuries that game. They played a practice squad guy in the middle of that defense. They were the number 1 rushing defense in the regular season, and then they gave up, one of the biggest rushing games in modern game playoff history. So, was Dak Prescott perfect? No. But I would say this was like a B+ performance from Dak Prescott. If you can get 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, a high 60% completion percentage from your quarterback in the postseason going up against that defense, that should be enough theoretically to win the game. He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't make a bunch of bad plays. They stayed ahead of the sticks. Dak Prescott was not the biggest reason that you lost that game. He actually played very good football by all the metrics. 2021, when we go in here and we look at the first game against the 49ers. The Dallas Cowboys. Now listen, Dak Prescott was not perfect. He completed under 60% of his passes. He had a turnover. This was not the best outing for Dak Prescott. But also, it wasn't as bad as people make it out to be. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line allowed 20 pressures, 5 sacks, and the team as a whole committed the second most penalties in a playoff game in NFL history. They had 14 penalties. The only team with more postseason penalties in a singular game than the Dallas Cowboys in 2021 was the Raiders back in the 70s. I forget exactly which year. But the Raiders one time had 17 penalties in the postseason. The Dallas Cowboys had 14. That was the second most in NFL history and the most in NFC playoff history. And that is what you wanted Dak Prescott to overcome. Not to mention that the run game was non-existent and that the running backs ran for under 70 yards combined. Not to mention the pressures, not to mention the sacks, not to mention the drops. Like, that was a complete team debacle that happened in 2021. So when you can't protect the quarterback, you can't run the football, you're committing penalties, what exactly is Dak Prescott supposed to do? What exactly is Dak Prescott supposed to do to overcome that? Because he can't go out there and meet the running back in the A-gap. He can't go out there and prevent, Randy Gregory from jumping off sides numerous times. He can't, he ain't the one committed to penalties. Dak Prescott had 0 penalties. He didn't even have to delay a game. He ain't had no intentional grounding. He didn't commit a single penalty this game, and the Dallas Cowboys had 14 penalties. 20 pressures, 5 sacks at the crib allowed by your offensive line. So was it Dak Prescott's greatest game ever? No. But was he the leading reason why you could not win that postseason game? No, that's not. He was not. And Dustin Roberts, you are correct. He has 14 passing touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He also has 4 rushing touchdowns and 0 fumbles. So Dak Prescott in the postseason. And I'm glad you brought that up, Dustin. That's a good alley-oop, man. Dak Prescott in the postseason is 18 touchdowns and 7 turnovers in 7 games. That's well over a 2-to-1 touchdown to turnover ratio, which is fantastic, right? You also got to remember, a majority of Dak Prescott turnovers came in 2 games. He had 2 interceptions against the Green Bay Packers this previous year, and he had 2 interceptions against the 49ers. So, in the other 5 playoff games that Dak Prescott had, he only had 3 turnovers in the other 5. So Dak Prescott playoff numbers are not bad. Don't let people tell you that Dak Prescott playoff numbers are bad. So listen, you can call it an excuse or you can call it what happened. Because remember, if your team is predicated on one player playing well, you are not a well-constructed team. But think about what the Eagles did in the Super Bowl. They ran Saquon Barkley, to that championship. If Saquon Barkley was their only plan of attack, they would have lost the Super Bowl because the Kansas City Chiefs neutralized Saquon Barkley. They completely neutralized Saquon Barkley. So what they did, because they loaded the box, stopped Saquon Barkley, they were able to utilize the wide receivers on the outside. But my point is this. When Dak Prescott does not play well in the postseason, there is no curveball. There is nothing else. If Dak Prescott does not play well, you cannot run the ball and run to victory. The same way the Eagles were getting 200-yard games from Saquon Barkley in the postseason, 170-yard games from Saquon Barkley in the postseason, you can't get that from Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys running backs combined ain't cracked 70 yards in a single one of these playoff losses. So no, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Dallas Cowboys have bigger issues than just Dak Prescott. You have way bigger issues than just Dak Prescott. Because if I give you 18 touchdowns to only 7 turnovers, that's not bad. That's not a bad touchdown to turnover ratio. 18 to 7, that's not bad by any metric. He said, why does Justin Herbert get a pass? He shouldn't, but because he was a former first round pick, a lot of people let those players, live off of that. And the issue with Dak Prescott is because he wasn't a former first round pick. If Dak Prescott was a former first-round pick and he was this highly touted, highly loved player that everybody was infatuated with in the drafting process, they would not be talking about Dak Prescott the way that they talk about Dak Prescott. Justin Herbert is a way worse playoff performer than Dak Prescott. Like, he threw 4 interceptions in 1 playoff game. And we talk about Dak Prescott having 7 in 7. Justin Herbert just threw 4 in 1 playoff game, and they don't even speak about it. They sweep it under the rug. It didn't happen. He was on the wrong end of one of the biggest playoff choke jobs in NFL history. They were up 27-0 on the Jaguars, and they still lost the game. They don't hold that against Justin Herbert. Kyle Murray ain't even won a playoff game yet. Ain't never thought about winning a playoff game yet, dog. And listen, Tua ain't won a playoff game yet. And these were players that franchises were tanking for. You remember tank for Tua? Tua ain't won shit. He ain't even won his division. Hey, do that, Dustin Roberts. I appreciate you too, my brother. I said I can't see JB. JB is not on my. I can't see JB. If JB is in the chat box, I can't see that nigga. But yeah, man. The Dallas Cowboys have way more issues than just the quarterback. Because if everything, but that's the issue though, Dustin Roberts. Nobody cares about the Chargers, but they should. Because if Justin Herbert is this elite generational quarterback, you should actually hold him to a higher standard than Dak Prescott, the 4th round pick, though, right? But yet, Dak Prescott has outperformed Justin Herbert since he's been in the National Football League. He's the one that's been an All-Pro. He's the one that's been an MVP candidate. He's the one that actually has won playoff games. but you know they're held to different standards at this point. Nah, because listen, I'm sure somebody blocked him on the page and he will stay blocked. Because if you build your entire channel off of hating on one player, I don't want to fuck with you. I don't respect your football knowledge. I heard the shit that you said when you jumped on Tuck's show about possibly insinuating the nigga was faking an injury. So no, I don't want to see your shit. Don't want to collab with the nigga. Don't want to hear his opinion. None of that fuck shit. Like I don't deal with grifters. You were a grifter. So no, I am glad I can't see his shit. One of the mods was smart and they blocked this nigga shit from the channel. Matter of fact, hey listen, if y'all see the nigga, time him out. I don't even want to fuck with the nigga. I don't like the dude. I don't like old hating ass niggas. So nah, I don't fuck. Hey, this is a public service announcement on the Sunday. So you know the Lord is in me when I say this. I don't fuck with JB the Cowboy fan. I don't fuck with the nigga. I don't fuck with grifters. So yeah, get the nigga off the page, dog. Get the nigga off the page if he on here. And it's straight like that. Ain't no mincing words. I don't fuck with the nigga. But anyway, he said, do you think Dak wants to trade places with Justin? His agent didn't ask for a no trade clause for no reason. No. Not at all. No, not at all. Cause they don't have the same resources over there, man. They don't have the same resources over there. Like Dak Prescott, you know, you might argue that they got a better coach over there because I do like Harbaugh. But I think Dak Prescott right now has the better wide receiver, receiving core. He might have the better offensive line depending on how things shake out. But they definitely gonna have a better running game. They got two great running games right now. You know, they got two great running backs over there. But yeah, man, Dallas Cowboys, you got bigger issues than just Dak Prescott. So let's go to it, man. Like, Henny, what you talking about, man? Like, dog. Do y'all ever remember how we lose these playoff games? Are we losing these playoff games because Dak Prescott is throwing 11 picks? Or do the games be out of hand and the defense be bleeding out when that shit happens most of the time? In the 5 playoff losses since 2016, when Dak Prescott joined the Dallas Cowboys, on average, your defense is giving up 30 points per game and allowing 157 rushing yards per game. The Cowboys defense has a grand total of 2 first-round picks on it. Micah Parsons and Mozzie Smith. So what I'm trying to get to you is this, man. Them niggas got what they paid for. You got a premier pass rusher in Micah Parsons. You know what I'm saying? You got a premier pass rusher in Micah Parsons. You got Mozzie Smith, but you don't really have a lot invested on the defensive side of the ball. Trayvon Diggs, you know, he overachieved. He was a second-round pick. A lot of people had a first-round grade on him, but he was still a second-round pick. You found the Ron Bland in the 5th round, and he has paid dividends for you. The Marvin Overshawn, you found that boy in the 3rd round, and when he's healthy, which is not often, he plays great football. You ain't spent no premium picks on safety since 2002. Like, you moved Byron Jones from his natural cornerback position to play safety, but the last actual safety you drafted in the 1st round was 23 years ago, when you went and picked up Roy Williams. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys have spent anything higher than a 5th round pick on a safety since then. If my research is correct, it was like a 5th round pick, the highest they spent on a safety. So what I'm trying to tell you is this, man. The Dallas Cowboys have not really invested anything of note. You got one 1st round pick pass rusher, and then you got 1 1st round pick on the interior. Compare that to the Eagles. They spent a 1st round pick on Terrion Arnold just this year. They spent a 1st round pick on Jordan Davis. They spent a 1st round pick on Jalen Carter. Like, they did a dog. Like, they heavily invest on the defensive side of the ball over there when it comes to Philly, dog. they heavily invest, in first round picks over there in Philly on the defensive side of the ball. Dallas Cowboys have not done that, and that is sort of the reason why they're averaging 30 points in the playoffs, in the losses. In the five playoff losses, averaging 30 points, averaging 157 rushing yards. If you just look at the last 4 playoff losses, they're averaging over 170 rushing yards allowed. He said, let's see, Vodka night last night, my boy just got out after 11 years, and we almost went back slapping bitch-ass Eagles fans. Let's go, CJ. Salute to my nigga CJ in the building, man. Holding it down for all the real Cowboys fans, man. Salute to you, man. Make sure that pimp hand is strong. Hey, who aggressive in the chat box? What niggas talking? What niggas talking crazy? What niggas talking crazy, man? But yeah, man, like you can't sit back and say this is a playoff caliber defense, though. He said they were 5th best, but hey, Dustin Roberts, did they play like they were the 5th best offensive line in the postseason? And that's the stuff that we need to talk about when it comes to. We talk about Dak Prescott needing to step up in the postseason. Let me take this shit down real quick. We talk about Dak Prescott needing to step up in the postseason. We also need the same thing. We also need to say the same thing about the other people on the team. Like, it's cool that they were a top 5 regular season offensive line, but when the playoffs came around and they couldn't block Nick Bosa, and they gave up all them sacks, and they gave up all them pressures, and they couldn't open running lanes, they should be held accountable for that as well. Nah, y'all good, man. Y'all Gucci. They said, what you think the starting secondary will be this season? Man, I have no idea. Like, when your secondary get healthy, they're going to be great. And listen, the scoring defense was good. But I got the numbers for the run defense right here. 2020, they were 31st. 2021, they were 16th. 2022, they were 22nd. 2023, they were 16th. 2024, they were 30th. The Dallas Cowboys ain't had a top 15 running defense. And remember, that's how you always lose in the postseason. They run our asses off the field. They run us straight off the field. You ain't had a top 15 rushing defense in half a decade. And listen, the one year that you had the best rushing defense, that was actually the year that you gave up 273 yards to the Rams on the ground. And that goes back to my point of we got to hold everybody accountable. And listen, it's low-hanging fruit for the quarterback position. I get it. They touch the ball every play. They on the commercials. They get the money. We give them all the fucking credit for no apparent reason. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I'm not mad at folks for holding quarterbacks to these high standards, as you should. I understand it. I'm not mad at it. My thing is this, though. If these other units on the team are top this and top that, in the regular season, if they top this and top that in the regular season, and they go out here and they shit the bed, we need to hold them accountable too. And that's real football. Like, yeah, if Dak Prescott, he deserves the blame when he go out there, he lights it up in the regular season, and he doesn't play well in the postseason. I'm not mad at that. But I need y'all to have the same energy with the rest of the team. I don't care if you a top scoring defense in the regular season and you get 30 ball you give up 40 fucking points in the postseason. That shit don't matter. Hold the defense accountable. I don't care if you're the best offensive line in the regular season and you go into the postseason, you give up 20 sacks and 5 pressures, and your running backs get held to under 70 yards rushing. They can't even run the damn ball. You gotta hold them accountable for that shit too. So I'm not just saying, take all the blame off Dak Prescott. Hell no. There were games by the metric that Dak Prescott did not play worth a damn. And these are some of the games. Dak Prescott has 2 games in his playoff career where he has under a 50 QBR. Right? He has 2 games in his postseason career where he had under a 50 QBR. He had one that he was at 53. But he also has 4, which is over 70. A 70 QBR is a playoff caliber quarterback. Right? That's a Pro Bowl caliber performance. What I should say. 90 and up is an all-pro caliber performance. Dak Prescott has an all-pro caliber performance, a couple Pro Bowl caliber performance, an average performance, and 2 shit performances in the postseason. So Dak is not, guilt-free. He done fucked up too. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm trying to convey to people. What I am saying is not just Dak Prescott. And when we look at the other things that are going on with the team when we lose the playoff games, we will have a better understanding of what's going on so that we can, in fact, fix the fucking team. And this is the issue. People don't want solutions. They want witch hunts. They want somebody they can point their finger at and say, it's your fault. You're the reason that we know. Life ain't that simple, my guy. It's not your wife's fault that you ain't fulfill your dreams, my nigga. Look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nobody. It's not your daddy and your mama fault that you ain't got manners. You are a piece of shit. You're a grown man. You can't hold on to that stuff. But what I'm trying to say is this: folks like the easy way out. They like finding scapegoats. They like finding scapegoats and throwing all the problems of the world onto that one person. When in reality, your defense has not played up to par. There have been games where your offensive line has not played up to par. Sure, there's been games where Dak Prescott has not played up to par. But it's not just one dude. It's not just one dude. Because, listen, y'all did it with Tony Romo. It's a rinse and repeat. Because when Tony Romo went out there, and he was an all-pro caliber quarterback, and he was an MVP candidate, in 2014, and he had these high-profile stuff. It's not, and I already showed that it's not. It's not. We already disproven that. This is Dak Prescott's QBR from all his playoff games, and for good measure, it's compared to Joe Burrow. What y'all don't realize is the ones that are bolded, those are the games that they won. And it's back to my point. Joe Burrow played ass. Because remember, under 50 is horrible. He played ass in 3 of his 7 playoff games, and they won 2 of them. Even with Joe Burrow playing substandard football. Dak, on the other hand, has a playoff loss with an 84 QBR, has a playoff loss with a 73 QBR, has a playoff loss with a 53.1 QBR. So what I'm saying is this. It's easy to point the finger at the quarterback. We were just talking about that before you slid in here. Low-hanging fruit. It's easy to find a scapegoat to say it's the quarterback. But a lot of times, that's not the reality. In the 5 playoff losses, the 84.4, the 73.6, the 53.1, the 42.7, the 32.4, your defense is also averaging 30 points allowed. They're averaging 157 points rushing yards allowed. Your defense ain't getting no turnovers. At all. Right? So, I don't know what to tell you. It's more than just the quarterback. And listen, I know it's not going to change people's mind. Folks are dug in. They have their own feelings about shit. But the facts are the facts are, dog. There have been games where Dak Prescott has played well enough to win, and we still didn't win. That is more than just the quarterback. It's more than just the quarterback. The issue I had, and the reason I'm even sitting here talking about that, is because when I posted this, I had niggas coming out the woodworks talking about, oh, y'all make excuses for Dak. You putting the cape on for Dak. No, there's more shit that happens in the playoffs than just your quarterback. Because let's keep it real. In 2023, if Dak Prescott didn't throw a single pick, if he didn't throw a singular pick, the Dallas Cowboys would have still needed 37 points from their offense to win the game. If you subtract the 14 points that were scored after the interceptions, they would have still, 35. They would have needed 35 points. They would have still needed 35 points. That's 34 points that the defense would have gave up even without the interceptions. Right? So could Dak Prescott have played better? Of course. He could have played better. But was he the sole reason? Is he the sole reason that they lost these games? And true, that's also not true. How was Dak Prescott the main reason they lost in 2016 when a 3rd and 20 conversion by the defense is what lost the game and Dak and the offense scored 31 points? How was Dak Prescott the main reason in 2018 when he had 2 touchdowns and no turnovers and the defense allowed 273 yards rushing, 2 100-yard rushers, and 3 rushing touchdowns? How was he the main reason in 2021 when his offensive line allowed 20 pressures, 5 sacks, the team committed the 2nd most penalties in NFL history, and the running game was non-existent? How was he the main reason when the defense gave up 34 points even without the turnovers? Said without Dak interceptions at halftime, the score is 14-7. That game is different. We can't do whataboutisms. Because for one, game flow is a real thing. How things play out in the game is real. You can also say if CeeDee Lamb don't drop the ball on 3rd down, they go down and the score is different. You can also say there's a lot of whataboutisms you can use, dog. There's a lot of whataboutisms that you can use. And secondly, we know that that's not just the standard case because situational football is a real thing. You're also assuming that the offense go down there and scores. You're also assuming that a lot of the other things stay the same and probably wouldn't. And that's just how that shit goes. Like you can't just take one thing out and say, oh man, no. Like game flow changes. Different things happen along the way, and your defense still allows 6 straight scores. They still allow 6 straight touchdowns. Also, on the first interception, Dak Prescott did not, listen. If you go back and look at that first interception, like you could make an argument for PI. I'm not gonna stoop that low, but it wasn't really like a bad. Like it's just like Brandon Cooks got mugged at the point of attack and he got the ball taken away. It is what it is. But I digress. But nah, the main reason, no. Is he a reason in some of these games? Sure. Main reason, no. No. Because you got to think about it. There's playoff games Dak Prescott did not turn the ball over and that we lost. He didn't turn the ball over in 2018. He didn't. I hear people say that, and then I just watched the Jaguars game. Remember I was talking about Justin Herbert earlier? Yeah, Sunshine, from Remember the Titans, he threw 4 interceptions in a singular game, and they won it. It's almost like it's almost like you can turn the ball over sometimes, and like I said though, if your team is so piss poor and they're that poorly constructed that a singular turnover or 2 does not allow you to win a football game, that is more than just that. Yeah, exactly. Before the offense even stepped foot on the damn field, the defense gave up points. Out the gate, knew it was gonna be a long ass day. And salute to my boy, Smoke One for you. So yeah, man. I'm not saying that Dak Prescott is perfect. Cause I think y'all are missing the point. I think y'all missing the forest for the trees. Aren't y'all tired of having these conversations about every quarterback? Aren't you tired of having these conversations about Tony Romo? Aren't you tired after all these years of having these conversations about Dak Prescott? Won't you be tired about having these same conversations about the next quarterback? We have to stop. We have to stop giving all the blame to one player. We have to stop. Because if we allow the quarterback to be the scapegoat and the front office could just hide, sit on their hands and say, hey, we need Dak Prescott to play better. We need Tony Romo to play better. We need Joe Milton to play better. We need Arch Manning to play better. And we just allow them to sit on their hands and put all the blame on the quarterback, the front office will never, ever, ever take the necessary steps to improve the team. The Dallas Cowboys have been a bad run defense for a very long time. Very long time. Some of y'all don't got kids that are 5 years old. Some of y'all ain't got kids that are 5 years old. That's how long the Dallas Cowboys run defense has been bad. Some of y'all children have never seen a good Dallas Cowboys run defense. And remember, y'all can say, hey, man, and listen, true. If your only response is, if Dak Prescott played perfect, we would win, it's a bullshit response. If you have to be perfect to win a football game, that's not the standard. Perfection is not the standard. Perfection is not the standard. Especially when you see other quarterbacks playing worse. Or playing just the same. Like, that's not really what's happening league-wide. Most of these quarterbacks are not having these these transcendent games in the postseason. They doing enough. They're complemented by a run game. Their defense isn't giving up a gang of points. They're winning field position. Like, there is a reason why the average postseason points per game per team is like 22. Like, teams are only averaging 22 points in the postseason, like league-wide for the most part. When you're giving up 21 points in a half of football or 20 points in a half of football, you are hamstringing your ability to win these football games. Said mine 28 HTM. I feel it, dog. How much confidence do you have in Eberflus? That is a very tough question. And we can pivot because we got time, because really we'll be talking in circles about the Dak Prescott discourse. Because that's really, listen, it is June the 22nd on a Sunday. There's no football being played. There's no training camp. There's no preseason. There's no playoffs. There is nothing that anybody can say or do to change your opinion on Dak Prescott right now. Regardless of how you feel. If you hate Dak Prescott, there is nothing that anybody can do to change your mind on it. If you love Dak Prescott, there is nothing that anybody can do to change your mind on it right now. Because we haven't seen the most up-to-date version of this offense, this team, or anything. So we can shelf this conversation for a later date. We can shelf this conversation and we can pivot to Matt Eberflus. So speaking of Matt Eberflus and his defense, this is what he had to say about his scheme and everything else.
Of your defense.
Yeah, the identity goes way back. I mean, we're talking back to the 96 Buccaneers, and that's where it goes back. This is the origin of it. And as you remember, those guys are packed with Hall of Famers and a bunch of great players, and the system allows you really to, play free. It's a disciplined defense, and it allows a lot of eyes on the quarterback, and that's where you get all the takeaways from. And it's very detail-oriented, and that's what I took from Coach Marinelli when I was here with him. Took it on to Indianapolis and then up to Chicago, but it's been really good, and the guys love playing in the system because it really maximizes their talents and helps them really produce on the football field.
And the emphasis is on stopping the run and taking the ball away?
That's it, yep. We got two things that we do. We stop the run and take the ball away. We like to score on defense, but that's really what our mantra's been, and that's what it continues to be.
Which it's easy to...
All right. So when we talk about Matt Eberflus, he plays primarily a cover 3 defense by most of the metrics and most of the numbers. He sits in cover 3 a large majority of the time. he real mix it up and play some cover 2. But you know, it's a primary zone defense, 4-3 front. He puts a very high, you know, he puts a lot on the 3 tech. He does put a lot on the 3 tech because it's very similar to what Rod Marinelli did. He wants you getting upfield. He wants you to go out there and be disruptive, disrupt the rushing lanes so that the linebackers can come in and field him. Like, that's pretty much the basis of his defense. They're going to sit in cover 3. They might throw in some match. You know. Is that grab camera for Lamar edit? Fuck it. Fuck it. There y'all go, man. Y'all crazy as hell. I said, my dude, Common Sense Lab. What up, famo? Hit you up on X. Okay. It said the rule changes about the quarterback avoiding that problem. You avoid winning. But listen, theory is always different than actual execution. Theory is really different from the actual execution of it. Because with that easy, there would be way more, you know, quarterbacks that win Super Bowls and make it to the big dance and stuff. Like, this is still always going to be a dependent position. A quarterback is dependent, you know, is dependent on his offensive line, and he's dependent on the run game. He's dependent on the wide receivers. Can a quarterback elevate average players? Sure. Can he elevate average players to a Super Bowl? I ain't seen it. Eagles don't have average players. They got one of the best wide receiving corps in the National Football League. The Rams didn't have average players. They had Cooper Kupp. They had Odell Beckham. They had Robert Woods when he was young and healthy. Like, they didn't have average players that Matthew Stafford elevated. When you talk about the Patriots, that defense wasn't average. That defense wasn't average. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rob Gronkowski wasn't average. He's a Hall of Fame tight end. He's one of the best tight ends to ever suit him up. So, you know, I get what people are saying about elevating players, but that shit is, you know, it's more so good lip service. Like, practically, I don't really know these motherfuckers that are out here elevating sorry ass folks, you know, to the upper echelons. You know what I'm saying? I don't recall it. Did Troy Aikman elevate anybody, or was Michael Irvin one of the best wide receivers in NFL history? Was Alvin Harper not a first-round pick? He was the 12th overall pick in the draft for a reason. Emmitt Smith, the league-leading rusher in NFL history. And listen, elevating sorry players to overcome, that's not even in the Dallas Cowboys DNA. When we were winning championships, we had loaded rosters with future Hall of Famers and superstars. We had all-time greats on the offensive line. We had all-time greats at running back. Tony Dorsett, Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith. Hall of Famer, the 88 Club. All the 88s were on Hall of Fame trajectories, man. Well, I don't get the want or need for folks to say, hey man, let's elevate folks. I said, Amp, what you sent me, my boy? Let me go look. You sent me something on Twitter. Let me go look. Oh yeah, thank you, Amp. So yes, Troy Aikman had the best line in the league, the best running back in NFL history, Hall of Fame receivers, and a top-notch defense. Matter of fact, do you know how good your defense is when they get a name? He had the Doomsday defense. Do you know how gangster your defense is when they get a name? Wait, when they get a name, how gangster your defense is, nigga? But we want Dak Prescott to go out there and just win. You know, listen, Noah Brown was your wide receiver number 2 in that second playoff game against the 49ers. Thank you, Common Sense. Said Aikman elevated the mentality. He was a very good leader. He was a great leader of man. But dog, he was 1-15 when it was just him by himself before Emmitt Smith got there. They won one game. We really gonna sit here and talk about Troy Aikman when Emmitt Smith was one of the best playoff rushers in NFL history. We gonna sit here and act like Emmitt Smith didn't do a majority of the heavy lifting in the postseason. That's what we're doing now. We're gonna rewrite history. We're gonna rewrite history. All right. God is amazing though. I still love y'all. But remember, even if we disagree on stuff, it's not that deep, man. You are allowed to feel how you want to feel. This is a free country. We are all Cowboys fans. I got nothing but love for y'all. Except for that nigga JB. I hate that nigga. But, point being is this. The Dallas Cowboys have a history of having super teams. They have a history of having super teams packed to the gill with raw talent, future Hall of Famers, elite defenses, and everything else. Do the Dallas Cowboys, as currently constructed, look like those teams? Did the Dallas Cowboys defenses in the 90s have an issue stopping the run? Did the Dallas Cowboys offense in the 90s have an issue running the football? Did they have an issue running the football in the postseason? Did they have an issue stopping the run in the postseason? Were they averaging 30 points in losses? Don't just compare the quarterback back in the 90s. Compare everything around them. And I love Ezekiel Elliott, but Zeke ain't did shit. Zeke ain't did shit in a lot of these playoff games. Ain't did a fuck thing. Zeke ain't had a good playoff game since 2018 against the Rams. No, I'm sorry. 2018 against the Seahawks. Zeke ain't do shit against the Rams. He ain't do shit in either 49ers game. He wasn't even on the team by the time the Green Bay game came around the second time. So listen, I love y'all. Y'all my people. I rock with y'all. For what? Dak always put belt to ass on y'all niggas. Y'all, listen, y'all ain't ever made the playoffs when Dak Prescott was healthy. Every year Dak Prescott is healthy and finishes the season, y'all don't make the postseason. Even in 2016, when y'all finished the season with a winning record and y'all had Kirk Cousins, because you got swept by Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, you missed the postseason. You missed the postseason. When y'all snuck in and won a division with a losing record in 2020, Dak Prescott was not there. It's funny as hell when teams that Dak Prescott beats in his fucking sleep come in here talking crazy. You are not the Eagles. You do not get participation trophies for making it to an NFC championship game. The Eagles can talk a little shit. They done won 2 championships. I ain't got shit to say about the Eagles. But you, nigga, y'all need to shut the fuck up. Commanders fan need to shut the fuck up. Y'all ain't did a fuck thing. Ain't did shit. So nah, man. I'm glad that you want Dak Prescott to stay and still be y'all daddy. He a good stepdaddy to y'all too, man. He a good stepdaddy. He don't beat you that often. He only beat you twice a year. You know, he probably give you niggas an allowance or some shit. Dak Prescott a good stepdaddy for you little niggas, man. But yeah, don't come in here talking with your chest out like the Commanders something, nigga. You snorting powder, boy. You snorting powder. You snorting powder. Niggas talking about grab the camera. It's crazy. Yeah, man, listen. I ain't had to move fit to pay the rent, but these niggas sure do take it, man. And I love you too, Steve. You a good nigga. Cause listen, this is just a little shit talk, dog. This is a little shit talk. It's a little shit talk. And listen, I don't blame y'all, dog. I don't blame y'all. Cause listen, I was on record saying that Jaden Daniels would be the best quarterback in that draft class. I picked Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams. I like him a lot coming out of LSU. Like, I got tweets and everything, you know. I got tweets and everything in support of Jaden Daniels. I hate that y'all sorry ass niggas got him, but you know, I got nothing but love for Jaden Daniels. He a good dude. He from West Coast part of the world. Cuz know his people and shit. So you know, he Jaden Daniels good people, man. I just hope that he plays bad every time he plays the Dallas Cowboys. That's all. What's up, Joe? Listen, shout out to my boy Joe, man. I got nothing but love for Joe, man. Joe be tapped in. My boy all the way in Italy with it, man. All the way in Italy. Doing it big, man. He said, I only hope the NFC East teams got is that Dak gets injured every year. Because listen, I'm not saying that there's a correlation, but even the Eagles Super Bowls correlate. No, the Eagles Super Bowl appearances with Jalen Hurts correlate to when Dak Prescott gets hurt. That's all I'm saying. 2022, when we were gone half the season. Yeah, Jaden Daniels dope. Oh yeah, Jaden Daniels dope as a motherfucker. He sure did. Yeah, I like Jaden Daniels. Listen, if the running game is good, you know, I can expect a lot more from the Dallas Cowboys offense. I need to see it because I have my doubts. But if they can generate a fire-ass running game with the running backs that we have in this offensive line, the sky's the limit for this offense. Because I do believe that is one of the reasons why we do struggle in the postseason. Like I said, the Dallas Cowboys running backs have not done Dak Prescott any favors. Man. Matter of fact, I think I might got it in here, dog. And listen, y'all, I appreciate y'all for the love and support. It's been about an hour. Justin paid for the first hour of the show with his Cash App. We can keep rocking, we can keep thugging it out, but make sure y'all hit that Cash App, man. Hit that Cash App. You want the show to continue. We can go another hour because Justin paid it forward. But hit that Cash App, man. We got plenty of stuff we can discuss and bring up, man. But let me pull this up about the running backs real quick. Let me pull it up about the Dallas Cowboys running backs, dog. It said kiss the baby at this point. Real talk. Let's see. Cowboys running backs. Hold on. Cause I know I got a tweet here somewhere. Cause listen, I can build it I can build this shit while I'm in the air. If I find a tweet, you know, I can screenshot it and add it into the show. So y'all know I stayed with stats and metrics. Let's see. Hey, shout out to my boy Numbhead Neil out here extending the time. He said, I know it's baby nuts season still, but I do like the Booker addition to the interior. I think it will help the run. And listen, if you're bullish on your first round pick and they play a position like guard or center or the interior, like you can be bullish on a player like that. You can be bullish on a player like that. And this the Cash App, by the way, Dustin. $ Henny the Moore. You can be bullish on an interior offensive lineman that you drafted in the first round. You just can't be super bullish on a 7th round pick at any position. 7th round pick at running back. 7th round pick at corner. 7th round pick at defensive tackle. You said he stepped up. Why can't Dak? Did Dak Prescott not, light up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when the running game ain't do shit? Did Dak Prescott not, go 2 touchdowns, no turnovers against the Rams when the run game ain't do shit? Also, they sold out to stop Saquon Barkley. Shout out to my brother Dustin Roberts for the Cash Out with the 30 ball. He said, keep the show rolling. That's so real, man. So listen, we got to keep rocking, man. We going to keep rocking, man. They got y'all at least another hour of content, man. So we going to keep rocking. Salute to Justin Roberts. Salute to to Dustin Roberts. Salute to Justin Kitchen for supporting the show. Listen, they paid it forward for y'all, man. So we gonna keep rocking and keep cooking. But yeah, so let's go ahead and see if I can find this, dog, because I got the metric in here somewhere. I just got to find the shit, dog. I just got to find it. Salute to Joey Badass in the building too, dog. I appreciate you rocking with your boy. Let's see. Oh shit, here it go. Here it goes. So I found it. It was from the 1st of this month. And I'm finna go ahead and add it to the show real quick. But yeah, dog, like, I'm not saying that Dak Prescott. And if you're wondering what's going on, Joey, we were talking about the Dak Prescott discourse and what actually happens in the postseason when the Dallas Cowboys line up and play, man. Shout out to my brother, Numbhead Neil, with another $4.99 for your mind. He said 100, Big Sarge. And not only did we get Booker, we got a better option at wide receiver than we originally wanted with any of those rookies. I wholeheartedly agree. I would take George Pickens over any of the wide receivers in their draft. He's already established. He's already one of the better deep ball wide receivers in the National Football League. Matter of fact, while I add this in, because I think I still got this up. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. George Pickens is first in the entire NFL on go routes. On the deep go routes, he is the highest rated wide receiver in the National Football League. The highest rated in the National Football League. Dak Prescott is one of the highest rated deep ball throwers in the National Football League. And that is without even having true vertical threats. Right? You got Cavante Turpin, and I love Turp, but with the game on the line, on a perfectly placed deep ball against the 49ers, he dropped it along the sidelines. Right? Maybe somebody like George Pickens come up with that ball and we're able to go and win that game. Because that might have been Dak Prescott's best throw of the night. End up being a drop by Cavante Turpin that game. We talk about Brandon Cooks and how Father Time is undefeated and how he's not quite the same vertical threat that he used to be. Right? And this is nothing against Brandon Cooks. You know, I know a lot of people call him a flying body catcher. You know, I know a lot of people weren't happy with the production you got for Brandon Cooks, but you know, they took a swing on a player that used to be a dynamic wide receiver. And truth is, like, Father Time is undefeated. Like even before he came to Dallas, that last year with the Houston Texans, he did not go for 1,000 yards. He did not go for 1,000 yards that last year. So he was multiple years removed from even being a 1,000-yard receiver. And, you know, we just believed with Dak Prescott and his ability to play. Oh, yeah, Sports Clip is super late. So since Sports Clip is late, let's go back through the metrics. Because this was an entire show about the history of Dak Prescott in the playoffs. So one, this is Dak Prescott in the postseason compared to Joe Burrows. Dak Prescott has posted QBRs of 96.8, 84.4, 73.6, 72.5, 53.1, 42.7, and 32.4. Joe Burrow, on the other hand, has QBRs of 77.9, 68.2, 60.8, 50.7, 45.7, 33.4, and 31.7. What this shows is, one, Dak Prescott has way more quality playoff performances than Joe Burrow. Two, Joe Burrow and the Bengals are still able to win postseason games even when Joe Burrow plays like shit. A 33.4 is benchable. A 31.7 is benchable. Yet, his team has been able to win in the postseason because they're not solely reliant on Joe Burrow. Dak Prescott, on the other hand, has playoff losses with QBRs of 84.4 and 73.6. Anything over a 70 is considered a Pro Bowl caliber performance by a quarterback. Anything over at 80 is considered an all-pro caliber performance by a quarterback. Dak Prescott has playoff losses with an all-pro caliber performance and a Pro Bowl caliber performance. So I want y'all to understand, it is not just Dak Prescott coming up short in the postseason. In fact, Dak Prescott has played well enough to win 4 or 5 of the playoff games that he has played in. If you're just looking at the metrics and the numbers, he's played well enough to win 4 or 5 of them instead of 2. That's just what the numbers tell you. When you also look at how the defense has performed in the postseason, they are averaging 30 points allowed in the 5 playoff losses and 157 rushing yards allowed in the 5 playoff losses. If you only look at the last 4, that rushing total balloons to over 170 rushing yards allowed per game in the 4 playoff losses. So point being, the Dallas Cowboys have bigger issues than just Dak Prescott. Yes, and Joe Burrow defense forced 4 turnovers. They forced 4 turnovers against the Tennessee Titans to keep them in that game when Joe Burrow went out there and threw for 0 touchdowns and an interception. And we're going to tell the whole story. Don't leave out details. They got to the Super Bowl because that defense was allowing 17 points per game. They weren't allowing 30. They were allowing 17 points per game in the postseason, not 30, like the Dallas Cowboys have in the 5 playoff losses. That's on average, right? All right, so continue back to what we're talking about. All right. Now let's talk about the running backs, because remember, there is more to an offense than just quarterback play. There is a passing offense. There is a rushing offense. Your rushing offense in the last 4 playoff losses, your running backs, multiple, plural, that's why there's an S added. All your running backs combined for under 70 rushing yards in the last 4 playoff losses. That's a combination of Ezekiel Elliott and whoever else was carrying the ball, Tony Pollard, whoever else was carrying the ball. They went for under 70 yards every single one of these 4 playoff losses. The last 4, your running backs ain't showed up at all. And y'all are sitting here trying to compare that to Saquon Barkley going for 200 yards in a playoff game. Y'all trying to sit back and compare that to Saquon going for 1-something in playoff games. It's disingenuous. It's disingenuous, and I need y'all to be better, man. Because listen, you ain't got to like Dak Prescott. But for the betterment of the team, we have to talk about everything. Every single thing that goes on with the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to Hallelujah with the 5-piece, man. We have already. True. There are multiple film breakdowns from the postseason. All over. Boss Cowboy has done some. Jay Tuck has done some. I've done some. All you have to do is go look. We already did the legwork for you. If you disagree after that, that is a personal problem, my brother. We still love you. But all that legwork, we done that. We looked at all the metrics. We done looked at the film. We done looked at the concepts. We done looked at all that, bro. The work is already done. So when the show is over, you can go look at it. It's on multiple content creator pages. So listen, if you don't like the nigga named Lil Dallas, y'all are Maz, y'all are Wrench Gang. You can shoot the nigga. I ain't never heard of no nigga named Lil Dallas. So if y'all want to put Lil Dallas in a pack, if you don't like cuz, y'all can do what y'all want to do. You don't need my permission to pack up niggas. If you want to put Lil Dallas on a t-shirt, put the nigga on a t-shirt. And if he come back with another burner account, you can pack that nigga up too. You can pack him up time after time after time. But salute to my brother Hallelujah for the cash app, man. So they paying it forward, for this content to keep going, man. So I appreciate y'all. Because listen, I ain't going to hold you. I was just going to do, okay, so we ain't talking about nothing crazy. Talk about Diggs money, Bland money, Cooks money all out. I mean, you got to pay for good players, dog. Yes, Dustin Roberts, I did, and I gave you a shout out. I got it, and I gave you a shout out. I want to let you know I appreciate you for the $30 cash app. You paid it forward for everybody to get this content going. I appreciate you for the love and support. You were an extra real one. And I appreciate you, man. I really do. I sure appreciate you, my brother. The problem is you can beat them over the head with facts, stats. But you got to pay. But yeah, that's the thing. You have to pay for good players. The Eagles are paying for Jalen Hurts. They're paying for A.J. Brown. They're paying for Devontae Smith. They went and paid for that linebacker that they got. They were paying for Slay. They were paying they were paying for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Like, why are we sitting here acting like the Eagles were not investing with the team? Like, they're not on rookie contracts. They went out and they cashed out. They used high first-round premium picks to fill out their roster, and then they went shopping in free agency. And they paid all their players ahead of time. They're paying for that offensive line. They're paying for Jalen Hurts. They're paying for their wide receiving core. They paid their tight end money. Matter of fact, Dallas Goddard just went and got some more money. So what are we speaking on? You got to pay to play, dog. Because last time I checked, when we were winning Super Bowls in the 90s, we paid Deion Sanders. We were paying Charles Haley. We paid Troy Aikman. We paid Emmitt Smith. We paid Michael Irvin. We were paying for that offensive line, dog. You got to pay to play. You got to pay to play. And really, Jerry Jones then wrote the book on the shit. They wrote the book on it. So why would I now then go away from my history expecting them not to pay their players? That's what you supposed to do, is pay your great players. The issue is they sometimes pay some people they ain't got no business paying. I'll give you that. But your star players, you pay your star players. You play your quarterback, you pay your wide receivers, you pay your offensive line. There's nothing wrong with that. That's good team building. You pay your trenches. Those are the things that you should do, man. Hey, shout out to T Jack in the Cash App, man, with the Cash App, man, with the 10 piece. Thank you for the love and support, man. Helping keep the show going, man. I appreciate y'all. Listen, y'all sponsor Henny the Moore. Y'all sponsor the shows. Y'all are the ones that keep this gravy train going, man. If it wasn't for y'all, the doors to the liquor store would be closed. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have no bottles in this motherfucker. We be out this motherfucker selling moonshine out the back, man. Y'all keep the bottles in the liquor store. Y'all keep the lines wrapped around the gates, and I appreciate y'all for supporting your boy, man. Y'all is the realest, and I got nothing but love and respect for y'all for rocking with your boy the way y'all do, man. So listen, man. Yeah, I agree with you. Regardless of what happens, you got to keep Pickens. Because Pickens is going to be one of the best players on this team. I have no doubts about it. I have no doubts about Pickens and the production. Because say what you want to say about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is still to this day, when healthy, going to be the best quarterback that George Pickens has ever played with. From college to the NFL level, high school, this is the best quarterback that George Pickens will ever play with in his life. Ever. So I expect George Pickens, who was able to go for over 1,100 yards with basically backup quarterbacks. Kenny Pickett is a backup quarterback in the league. You know, the other boy that got his head dented in by Myles Garrett with the helmet, yeah, he a backup quarterback in the league too. Russell Wilson, I love Russ. He was one of my favorite players when he was in his prime. He's over the hill. When you're old, when you are old, elder statesman quarterback, you're probably better suited to be a backup quarterback in the league. And that's really what Russ is at this point. So this is going to be the best quarterback that he has played with ever. Ever, 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 ever. You know what I mean? So I am expecting good things from him. And you really won't be able to roll coverage to George Pickens. You got to worry about CeeDee Lamb. You now got things opened up in the middle with that seam ball with Jake Ferguson. and Brevin Spanford and all the other tight ends that they talking about are making the jump and playing better football. So I agree with you. Even if you have to franchise tag George Pickens, you should not let him walk out this building, especially when you have question marks at the offensive line. Now, if the Dallas, you got, and listen, some people will make the argument, hey man, why not just let George Pickens walk, get the comp pick, and then draft another wide receiver, man? Why can't you just draft a wide receiver? Well, this is the thing. The Dallas Cowboys have too many, they have too many deficiencies. Like, you only have, you know what I'm saying? So many assets that you can delegate out there. You still need to invest, at defensive tackle. If the offensive line isn't up to par, you'll need to invest in that. And I know the Dallas Cowboys. They will probably go offensive line or defensive line next year over drafting a wide receiver. We just know them at this point. We just know them at this point. So if they were to let George Pickens walk, I cannot sit here and guarantee you that they use their first round pick to get a wide receiver. Fortified, your mama know what I'm talking about. Your mama know what I'm talking about, dog. Ask her. Ask your mama what I'm talking about, my nigga. She'll tell you with a grin when she wipe her mouth, dog. So yeah, dog. Ask your mama. If you can't keep up, my nigga, ask your mama. She know what the fuck I'm talking about. She picks up what I'm putting down, little nigga. Now get this fuck nigga out my chat box, man. Talk about fortified. Fortified. What you fortified against, man? What you fortified against, little nigga? Do you even know the definition of the word that your name, man? You ain't built like that. You ain't fortified. You a hoe. Because you in here on a Sunday morning. You ain't talked to God. You ain't went to church. You ain't wiped your ass. You ain't the motherfucker talking to me about the Dallas Cowboys, nigga. Get your mind right, little boy. Oh, you thought because it's Sunday, he ain't going to cuss a nigga out. Boy, I will cuss you out in the church. In front of your pastor. In front of your mama. Fuck wrong with you little niggas coming in here. We having a good time too, y'all. I'm having a great time in here. I'm up here with my people. We talking Dallas Cowboys football. Folks are supporting the content. They loving what they seeing. My diehard supporters, they done paid for another hour of content. We ain't finna let no dick pulling ass nigga, whose name is words he don't fully understand, come to the chat box and take away from what we doing over here, man. We ain't finna let it happen. We ain't finna let it happen, man. So get this gay ass nigga out here. Talk about some fortified. Your mama Jaws is fortified, man. Your mama Jaws is fortified. She could put it all the way in the back of her throat. No gag reflex, nigga. Your mama throat is fortified, nigga. Your mama throat is fortified, nigga. BBC certified and fortified. Fuck wrong with you, Will? Now listen, Jalen Hurts is number one. I love y'all, right? Cause listen, I'll be nice to y'all. Do I agree that Jalen Hurts should be on this list over some of these players? Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback. Cause I could easily swap out Geno Smith. With the way that C.J. Stroud played, C.J. Stroud didn't play better than Jalen Hurts last year. If you factor in the postseason, I'll give you that. I could be nice to say Jalen Hurts is probably a top 10 quarterback. Am I mad that they left him off because that pisses a lot of you Eagles fans off? No. Hell no. Not at all. Not at all. I'm not mad about it. Shout out to my boy Young Wilson with the $1.99 for your mind. Where's mama at? Shit. Hey, on Backpage probably. You can probably find that nigga mama on Backpage, dog. If you know, you know. My nigga said hortified. And then see, all you had to do was shut the fuck up. Now nigga making mama jokes about your mama on Sunday, man. They make a mama joke about your mama on the Sunday. You bring shame upon your family, man. All you had to do was shut the fuck up, sit back, relax, take in the content. But no, you want to be part of the show. You want to talk crazy. You want to entertain us. I'll let you entertain us, my guy. We'll laugh at you. We'll laugh at the clowns. Yeah, but your mama being horrified is crazy though. Said take the what and leave the what? Boy, you smoking meth. Talk about swap out Dak Prescott. So let me get this straight. Eagle fan, right? You want to take off one of the actual all-pro quarterbacks on the list. That's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me. Instead of swapping out Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud, Herbert, who never wins shit, one of the only few all-pro quarterbacks on the list is who you want to take off the list. That's who you want to take off the list. Just for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? That's why we can't be nice to you bitch-ass niggas. We give y'all an inch, y'all try to take a mile. He said, why don't I like Jalen? I don't like y'all niggas. I like Jalen Hurts. I don't like Eagle fans. Like anything that upsets and gets them niggas crying, I love for that shit to happen. Jalen Hurts, I don't have anything bad to say about Jalen Hurts. He a young country nigga from Texas. Why would I be mad? Why would I be mad at Jalen Hurts? It's not his fault he got drafted by the ratchet, filthy, none-reading ass, you know what I'm saying, Philadelphia Eagles fan. No, your mama being 50 with no ring is a sin. That is the sin. You being a bastard is a sin. You watching animal porn is a sin. You being a hoe-ass nigga is a sin. Your daddy not loving you properly is a sin. No, there's a lot of sins we could talk about. Dak Prescott not winning a ring in 10 years is not the sin we want to talk about. You got a brother right now that can't go on school grounds. You talk about sins, nigga. Shut the fuck up. A sin. No, nigga. You being a hoe ass nigga is the sin. That's the sin. Matter of fact, shoot this nigga too. See, I be nice to niggas until it's time not to be nice to niggas. Yeah, this nigga into bestiality and he worried about Dak Prescott not winning a ring. Shut the fuck up. Nigga, did I make the list? Talk about y'all delusional. Motherfucker, I ain't make the list. I posted it. That would be wrong with y'all niggas. Y'all are from a city with low reading rates. Y'all are one of the most illiterate cities in the USA. Y'all have a high level of drug use. Fit is running wild. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand what you niggas on. Cause never once in my life said how many rings that are relevant. What the fuck are y'all talking about? You see what I mean? When you let fit users run amongst us with people that are sober and clear thinking, we have lines of questions like this. Now Jalen Hurts, who passes for under 200 yards in the postseason on a regular basis, is a prodigy. When all this nigga gotta do is get his ass played with to score a touchdown. Your quarterback gets fondled to score touchdowns, nigga. That nigga gets sexually assaulted to score 1-yard touchdowns. Them niggas be playing with his ass, dog. I refuse for this level of debauchery to be in football, man. They should have banned that shit just because it look gay as a motherfucker. And yeah, I'm hating. Fuck them niggas. Nigga be getting his ass played with to score a touchdown. You want us to respect that shit. Boy, go to hell. But anyway, back to what we were talking about, man. Back to what we talking about. And see, and this is the thing, though, man. I know what good quarterback play looks like. Because this is what Dak did in 2023 as a passer of the football. As a passer of the football, that's what Dak did in 2023, man. Had the second highest QBR in the league. Second highest quarterback rate. First in WAR. Total EPA first. EPA per play second. Led the league in touchdown passes. Third in passing yards. Fifth in yard per attempt. So that thinking that bullshit y'all nigga be talking about, cap. Completion percentage, best in the National Football League. Touchdown to interception ratio, best in the National Football League. On target throw percentage, fifth best in the National Football League. Bad throw percentage, second best in the National Football League. Still had the second most drops in the league. Best on first downs. Touchdown percentage, second best. Points per game scored by this offense, first in the National Football League. Third down stats had the highest EPA per play. Offense with second fewest giveaways. So what we know what good quarterback play looks like, dog. To sit here and act like Dak Prescott. To sit here and act like Dak Prescott that be playing bad football. Y'all niggas is powder snorters. He said, oh, well, someone is hurt. Who's hurt? Who's hurt? Y'all come in here and y'all help me make my stream entertaining. So y'all niggas is terrible what you telling me. Because I could have sworn that Dak Prescott had like 6 touchdowns against the Eagles, who were leading the division most of the year, were a playoff team. So you're telling me that y'all were ass, is what you telling me. That y'all were ass. You also leave out the fact that Dak Prescott blew out the Rams, who were a playoff team. Threw for over 400 yards against the Lions, who were a playoff team. Like, what y'all niggas be talking about, man? Y'all that be talking to hear yourself talk, because that shit don't even make sense. So the Eagles is ass and have been ass for a long time. And if Dak Prescott don't get hurt, y'all can't do shit. That's what y'all trying to tell me. Okay. As long as we on the same page, my nigga. As long as we on the same page. Because listen, how am I hurt? This stream doing numbers. We got over 100 niggas in this motherfucker. My folks donating. We having a great time. Who hurt? Only people I seen here crying and bitching is Eagles fans, man. Woe is me. They don't respect Jalen Hurts. My quarterback done got his ass played with 50 times for touchdown. You got to respect that, man. Oh, man, fuck y'all. I don't give a damn what you niggas talking about. Shit. The E-girl fans don't want any part of playing against Dak. Yeah, listen, it be crazy as hell. Folks talk all this shit about a quarterback that they can't fuck with a picture of. Y'all niggas can't beat Dak Prescott. So that's why y'all gotta lean on that other shit, dog. Y'all gotta lean on the postseason shit when y'all didn't play Dak Prescott. Y'all don't beat the nigga. And then when you say, oh man, the only thing that matters is the championships. When y'all niggas were out here praising NFC championship appearances and beating the Dallas Cowboys when we had 5 rings and y'all had 0, that was not the tone you niggas had. That was not the tone you niggas had. So what are we talking about? Moses, what the fuck you talking about? See, this is why you can't have educated conversations with niggas that can't read. With niggas that can't read. You don't even understand the conversation being had. You cannot come in and talk. You can't say sons got son when you're talking incoherently. Let the fit wear off first before you tweet some shit to me or type some shit to me, dog. We can conversate when you're sober because you ain't talking about shit. Then you changed. See, you just gay. You came in here on some pedophile shit. Respect my salty black nuts in your mouth. Respect your mama getting the nut out her eye. The bitch can't see with all the nuts in her eye, dog. The bitch finna get pink eye catching all that nut to the face. But you ain't here on that Diddy shit. You want a nigga. I been done slap your mama and you for playing with me like that. Nigga, don't play with me. You don't even know what you talking about. Matter of fact, shoot this bitch ass nigga. Go ahead and shoot this bitch ass nigga. They gonna come in with this aggressive ass energy. We can show them. Cause we gonna get you out this motherfucker. We gonna talk about you. We gonna talk about your weak ass mama, your bald headed ass granny, your faggot ass undercover on the low daddy, your dead cousin that got packed up. You been wearing the same memorial shirt for the nigga. So nah, we gonna talk about all them niggas. Bitch ass niggas sliding in here like they hard, man. And listen, I love it because we got 50,000 Eagle fans in this motherfucker. On dick, early on a Sunday morning, dick riding the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Ain't brushed their teeth, ain't kissed their mama. These niggas ain't even text their baby mamas to see how they kids doing yet. But you're in a Cowboy stream talking about the Cowboys, nigga. Get your shit together, boy. What is wrong with y'all? And listen, the way that I talk prevents me from being monetized a lot. So, you know, that's why I really, really, really appreciate y'all for the cash apps. Because this going to be, like, they ain't going to monetize this shit for no ads. I done cussed out 90 niggas. I done cussed out 90 folks. They can't monetize this shit. So that's why I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for all the support. Cash apping, super chats, everything y'all done sent. I appreciate y'all, man. Because the way that I handle the trolls in here, we is not gonna get paid for this. Nigga went crazy. Hold on. These niggas said my mama always said if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Slap the shit out that bitch and told her mind your own business. This nigga went crazy. Salute to my boy James St. Patrick. And listen, my boy out here moving like a goat. Cause this show the first time I seen him. He said, Jets fan here, fuck with your content. That's real, man. I appreciate you for the support, man. Hey, if you ain't sub to the content yet, sub up. If you know a fan that like good football talk and discussion, tell them sub up. Hit that like button, hit the share button. I appreciate y'all, man. I do. Everybody that got love for Henny, I love y'all back, man. For real. Cause if y'all listen, I'm a straight up and down guy. If you lead with respect, I will always lead with respect. I'll be the most upright, respectful person to you as long as you respect me and what I'm doing. The moment y'all start acting crazy, that's when I get on niggas' ass. I'm not mean. I'm not a bully. I'm not nobody that go out their way to disrespect people, you know, mama, even if they hold out. You know, I don't disrespect they daddies, even if they snitches and shit. You know, I just be chilling. So I appreciate everybody that showed love to Henny, because Henny love y'all back, man. Henny love y'all back. Shout out to my brother Montana too, man. Make sure y'all go sub up to his page. My nigga be dropping 5 beats, man. Make sure y'all support my brother Montana, man. Salute to you. Salute to my boy Montana. But yeah, man. They were mad as hell about that though. They were extra mad about that shit. I don't know why. Not sure why. So listen. We got 30 more minutes to talk. I'm finna go warm this coffee up real quick and I'll be back. I'm sort of parched. You know, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to cuss out these Eagles fans and these trolls and shit, man. So give me about 40 seconds. I'm gonna lead this up because what we're gonna talk about when I come back. And I'm gonna warm this coffee up so I can have enough, you know, energy to keep cussing niggas out. So give me a couple seconds. All right, y'all. I'm back. I'm back. Had to warm that coffee up. My boy always said Dak was a top 5 quarterback. I argue with people about it every year. It just be his durability and that playoff presence is like he goes in the shell of himself. Salute for the love. Hey, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, we got to get the playoff shit cleaned up, man. It's not all on Dak. He has some blame, but there's some shit that could be better at. Nobody gonna discount that. I just believe in totality, there's a lot more going on with the Dallas Cowboys for why we can't get over the hump in the postseason. But I do appreciate your support, my brother. All right, so we're gonna talk about it, man. We touched on this a lot. The Dallas Cowboys relying heavily on acquiring talent from the UFL, bringing them in, giving them a look-see, and seeing that they can develop into something. But to be fair to the Cowboys, because I know this is a point of contention, I know that a lot of times we, talk shit about them for being cheap, going the routes that they go. It's panned out for them for the most part, right? I'm going to give the caveats on it in just a second, right? But it's panned out for them. Turpin became an all-pro returner. Fastest guy in the National Football League, right? Brandon Aubrey, best kicker in the National Football League. So Butler played well before he got hurt, cornerback. So they've had success bringing in guys from the UFL. But what I do want to caution people against is this. Cavante Turpin, his first year in Dallas, had 1 catch for 9 yards. 1 catch for 9 yards. Brandon Aubrey is a kicker. So, there's not really, you kick year round when you're a kicker. That's your only job. You kick year round. Butler was used in a rotational role. Really only saw the field until people got hurt. The thing with the UFL and bringing guys in, and shout out to Boss Cowboy because he really pointed this out to me. And you know what? When you're right, you're right. When you're in the UFL, you play about, I think it's like 10 or 8 regular season games. And then you play, if you make it that far, you play in the postseason. Perion Winfrey made it to the postseason. You know what I'm saying? He made it to the postseason. That is a lot of extra games played in spring. Not resting, not rehabbing, and then coming into Dallas, expected to play in 17 games. And if we make the postseason and we want to go, because if you make it to the Super Bowl, you got to play an extra 3 games or so. That's like 21 games. There's like 21 games you're expected to play in if the Dallas Cowboys go where they want to go with Perion Winfrey on the team. That is a lot of fucking football, dog. That is a lot of football being played. So let me check something out for Perion Winfrey. Let me see how many games he played in. It said, how do you guys feel about the Pickens move? I think that's y'all gonna have a luxury for y'all because you can move him and CD around the whole field. I wanted him when I heard they were dealing him. I believe that Pickens is gonna be great for this offense. It's gonna make life way, way much easier for CD Lamb. He one of the better vertical ball threats in the National Football League. Matter of fact, he was the highest graded player on go balls. Dak Prescott is one of the highest graded players on deep passes. So I think it's a marriage that perfectly suits Dak Prescott and the Brian Schottenheimer scheme. If you look at the numbers for what happened with Lockett when he came to the picture with the Seahawks, completely elevated his game, turned him into the player that we know now. So I do think that it will pay dividends. But point being for Perion Winfrey, though, and very good question, by the way, my brother. The point for Perion Winfrey is this, though. They played a lot of football, and he got to go through training camp. He got to go through preseason. He got to go through the regular season. And if we're lucky enough, he got to go through the postseason. It's hard for me to see him play all that football and not burn out. You know what I mean? That's why you really see, that's why you really see with the guys they ask to play, to play a ton of snaps. You really see them take off year 2 after coming out the UFL. You saw Turpin take off year 2. Brandon Aubrey, he's a kicker. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. It's not the same. So I believe Perion Winfrey isn't really going to pay dividends for you this year. I think you're going to rely on Osa. You're going to rely, on the kid we got from the Jets. I think those are going to be your 2 primary 3 techs. But I don't really think Perion Winfrey is going to be right now, guy. I think they like Perion Winfrey. I think he's somebody they'll bring back. I think you see the dividends of Perion Winfrey next year if he's still on the team. You see the dividends next year. Who y'all have in the running back room right now? Nobody to write home about. I got questions about my running back room. We got a 5th round rookie, a 7th round rookie, and 2 journeyman veterans. That's what we have on our roster right now. So we got a whole lot. But you said Osa is going to be the best on the Cowboys team. I think he's going to be one of your better players for sure, because in this scheme there's an emphasis on the 3 tech and how they play, what their responsibilities are. You know what I mean? And JVB, boy, I as well prefer the 1 tech. I wanted to get Isaiah Buggs. That was my preferred UFL signing. So I would have did it. I would have gladly went and got him. But, point being, they didn't. I hope that they still think about adding some 1 tech depth, because they went and got rid of Justin Rogers. You don't really have a lot of 1 techs on the team. I think Denzel Jackson and Monty Smith are your only true 1 techs on the current roster. So I'm being led to believe that they make a roster move, like bringing in a Linval Joseph, maybe bringing in a Raekwon Davis or something along those lines. I could definitely see that happening. But, we got to wait and see. But I do like Raekwon Davis. And I hope that he's able to come in here. I hope they keep the tires on him. I just need support from Monty Smith. And salute to Ty in the building. He said, "What's up, Henny?" Salute to Ty, man. And to be fair to Perion, this is a note from Brandon Laurie. Salute to Brandon Laurie. Make sure you give him a sub and a follow when you get opportunity. Newly signed Perion Winfrey already hitting the ground running at the Star. He said, "Soon as I got the code, I was in it, LOL. Winfrey has a chance to really compete at defensive tackle in training camp." So listen, it doesn't really mean much right now, but I do give him brownie points for the work ethic. Like, the moment that he got the code to come out and work at the Star, he's taking full advantage of it. He missed being in the NFL. This is his second chance on life. He looked like he hitting the ground running, trying to take full opportunity of what's going on with him. So, I appreciate that. I appreciate the work ethic. I appreciate them folks coming in here, thugging with him. I appreciate him, taking this opportunity seriously. Remember, there's only so much you can do to win people over. There's no training camp right now. They ain't made it to Oxnard. They ain't got in the pads. They ain't lined up like that. But it's the small things like this. It's small things like this, that really put you over with me personally. You said, why aren't we talking about Solomon Thomas? Hey, I agree with you on that, Dustin Roberts, because Solomon Thomas is only 1 year removed from having 5 sacks with the Jets. You know, my boy team, you know, he a Jet fan. Solomon Thomas was real good for them. He had 5 sacks. He had a ton of pressures. He's a former first-round pick. He'll be a good rotational player for the Dallas Cowboys. That's why, me personally, that's why I wasn't looking for a 3-tech. I feel like at 3-tech, you're perfectly fine. You have 3-techs that can get upfield, be disruptive. You know, you got 3-techs. You know, that's why I wasn't looking for 3-tech at the UFL. I was looking at the 1-techs. Like I told you, I looked at Raekwon Davis. We did a film study on him, me and Boss Cowboy. I went and looked at Isaiah Buggs, used to play for the Detroit Lions, was on the practice squad for the Kansas City Chiefs. So those were like the candidates I was looking at. Siaki Ika. Like, I was looking at number 1-techs. So it was a curveball for me when they went in, were working out 3-techs. My boy said he came from us. He is legit. He just stayed hurt, though. Dallas Cowboys love hurt people, so that makes a lot of sense. If you hurt, Dallas Cowboys will take a flyer on you. They love reclamation projects. You know, I'm not mad at it. You know, that's how we end up with Malik Hooker, former first-round pick, could not stay healthy. And we got some solid seasons from Malik Hooker. He has not been the best safety, but he was a real improvement with what we had at the time when we brought Malik Hooker in. You know what I mean? Like, he was a big step forward from Jeff Heath and them. So that's why I wasn't too mad at having that boy out there. You said Phil Maffa is a fusion of LeGarrette Blount and Leonard Fournette. We'll see. I want to be pleasantly surprised. I don't think much about the running back room. So, you know, I'm going to be, just show me. You know what I mean? Just show me. I have no expectation for any of the running backs, because we have not paid to have expectations for the running backs. You got Javonte Williams, who's on a veteran minimum. You got Miles Sanders, who's on a veteran minimum. You only invested a 5th-round pick in Jadon Blue. You only invested a 7th-round pick in Phil Maffa. When it actually comes to your running back room, you have not invested anything there outside of the 1st-round pick for the guard. Like, the guard is your biggest investment in the running game. For the actual running backs, the actual people that have to see the holes and hit the holes and make the jump cuts and hold up in pass pro and leak out into the pass game and catch the passes and secure the ball and all these other things. The actual running backs, veteran minimum, 5th-round pick, 7th-round pick. That's why I'm not finna sit here and say, they invested in. No, the fuck they haven't. They ain't invested in no fucking running back room. Shout out to my brother Angry too, man. Make sure y'all keep my brother in his prayers. Show my brother some love as he and his family go through what they going through, man. We love you. We here for you. If you need to talk, brother, hit my line. You can hit the inbox, hit the line, chop it up with me. And I appreciate you for everything, dog. We love you in the space, and we're still praying for you and yours, man. But Angry said, I spoke to a Clemson ticket holder, and he said Maffa would surprise Cowboys Nation. We would love his run style. Hey, I want to see it. I want to be pleasantly surprised by Phil Maffa. Right? I want to be pleasantly surprised by Phil Maffa. We need him. Right? We need him. So I'm not mad at it. And listen, it should be, emphasis on should, it should be an open running back competition. Ain't no Zeke here. Ain't no Tony Pollard here. There's no draft picks or paid guys in the running back room, man. Hey, we love you, Angry. We got you, my brother. We got you. We all we got. We supporting you. We stand behind you 1,000%, brother. So we with you, my boy. He said, feel like they trying to prove a point with how they handle the running back position. Now listen, there are late round running backs that come in and are successful. Bucky Irvin did it last year, right? Bucky Irvin did it. But that's not the norm. The running backs that folks invest capital in are the running backs that are successful. Saquon Barkley was a first-round pick. Derrick Henry was a second-round pick. You know what I mean? Ezekiel Elliott was a first-round pick. Emmitt Smith was a first-round pick. Josh Jacobs is a first-round pick. Bijan Robinson is a first-round pick. Jahmyr Gibbs is a first-round pick. We were in love. We wanted Ashton Jeanty, and we thought he could change life for Dallas. He was a top 10 pick. Najee Harris, 1,000 yards every season. Folks are sort of divided about getting rid of him over there with Pittsburgh. I get it. He was a first-round pick. So point being, if you want production and you want guys to hit the ground running and being able to have these high standards and high expectations, you got to spend for that. You need at least a top 100 pick invested at running back for me to believe in it like that, dog. And we ain't did that. I have different expectations for my fifth rounders than I do my first rounders. I have different expectations for my second rounders than I do my sixth rounders. I got different expectations for my third rounders than I do my seventh rounders, dog. It just is what it is. You have to have proper expectations for your players depending on where they drafted at. Can you have some folks to come in and surprise you? Of course. That's the nature of the beast. That's how it goes. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, shout out to West Coast Cowboy. Love my big cousin. He be saying some fly shit sometimes, dog. He has a saying, you cannot pay your rent with a lottery ticket. If your rent is $500, pay your fucking rent. Don't go and try and buy $500 worth of lottery tickets and hope that you hit it big. Get your money, pay your bills, take care of your responsibilities. Don't gamble with shit that's important. Don't gamble with shit that is important, dog. The running game is important. You need your running game to hold up so that you don't have to be a one-dimensional offense. For all y'all that say Dak Prescott sucked, don't you want to have an offense that's not predicated on Dak Prescott throwing the ball 40 times? Y'all should be the main one standing with a nigga saying, hey man, we need to invest in running back. We need a better running back. We need more. If you hate Dak Prescott and you don't think he's very good, then why do you want an offense that's predicated on him throwing the ball 40 times? That's not winning football anyway. Go look at everybody statistics when they got to pass the ball 40 times. It's not pretty. It's not pretty, my guy. But point being, if you're down on Dak Prescott, you should want a running game. If you love Dak Prescott, you should want a running game to help him out so he can elevate his game and so that he can have some help in these boss battles, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to Joe. He said, hey, Angry, I know how you feel. I lost my cousin. He was like a brother to me, so I feel your pain. Man, Joe, my condolences to you, man. My condolences to Angry. My condolences to everybody out there. If y'all lost anybody, man, y'all in my prayers. We love y'all. This is a community. If y'all need anything, y'all can hit the inbox and shop it up with Hen, dog. You know, I'll listen, dog. I would rather listen to y'all problems than y'all feel like nobody care, dog. You know, I understand how it feels too to lose somebody that you love. So y'all have my full support, and I got nothing but love for y'all, man. Real talk. Said, Beach, you mind if I go to your site and pick one of your beats to make a tribute song to my brother? Hey, that's real, man. Salute to y'all. Hey, listen, man. Listen. I don't believe in Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm not out here trying to put no capes on to protect Dak Prescott. There's times where he fucks up. You know? There's times where he fucks up. But there are also times where he's played well enough to win. I just believe a good football team can beat you in multiple ways. Sometimes you got to win in a shootout. Sometimes you got to run the ball, 40 40 times and rack up 160 yards to win the game. I just don't feel the Dallas Cowboys can win in a multitude of ways. I think the Dallas Cowboys, when they are at their best, with the way they have been constructed recently, you go out there, you run the score up, you let your pass rushers pin their ears back and get after the opposing quarterback. They force turnovers, and, that has been the Dallas Cowboys' formula for winning. It's been a formula for winning. They have not really been able to rely, on the run game for a very long time. They have not been able to consistently stop the run. So that's why they continue to lose the same way that they lose. When they aren't able to get the lead early, teams can stay in their normal offenses and they can run the ball 30 to 35 times, control the clock, keep the offense off the field, get some explosives in the pass game off of play action because they have to already try to sell out to stop the run because they're not very good up front. And you see situations like the Rams, right? You see situations like the Green Bay Packers, right? You see things like that happen. So I just want to win. And I'll be honest with y'all. I am a Cowboys fan for life. I don't expect Dak Prescott to be my quarterback 10 years from now. Right? 10 years from now, 8 years from now, 7 years from now, because the boy is going to be 33. Dak Prescott, tenure as the quarterback, is not going to be that much longer. You know what I mean? I'm going to be a Cowboys fan till I'm like, till the Lord calls me home. Whether that's when I'm 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I'm going to be a Dallas Cowboys fan for the next however many decades. Dak Prescott don't even got a decade left of football left. So it's not just about Dak Prescott. I want this same infrastructure in place for whoever the quarterback is coming in next. If that's Arch Manning, if that's Joe Milton, I want to be able to run the football. I want my defense to be able to stop the run. I want weapons. I want a complete team for my quarterback, regardless of who it is. Regardless of who it is. So it's not just about Dak Prescott. I don't want y'all to think like that. Swap the quarterback name out. If you somebody that love Arch Manning and you want him to be the next quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, think about what you want for Arch Manning to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Right? You know what I'm saying? If you think that Lenore Sellers, is a quarterback worth trading up to get next year, right? If that's your guy, think about what you want for Lenore Sellers to be successful with the Dallas Cowboys and win a ship. And I bet you it all sounds the damn same. If you like Bazooka Joe, if you like Bazooka Joe, and you think he's the future of the Dallas Cowboys, the shit I'm talking about is the same shit that you would want for Joe Milton to have. A running game, a complete defense, weapons. That's not a lot to ask for. That's what you're supposed to have as a legitimate contender. So that's all I want for Dak Prescott. That's all I want. I want to be able to run the ball in the postseason. I want to be able to stop the run in the postseason. I want my defense to show up and not get 30 balled. That's all I want. That's all. That's it. That's it. Facts, because listen, when Dak Prescott is gone, Henry the Moore will remain. Because listen, I love Tony Romo. Tony Romo was my guy. I would fight you about Tony Romo back in the gap. You know what I'm saying? So it's my quarterback, I support my quarterback. And I want what's best for the team by putting the needed infrastructure around said quarterback. That's all. And I think that shit gets lost in translation a lot. Because it comes out as sounding like, hey, man, poor Dak. No, fuck that. I want the Dallas Cowboys to win. Dak Prescott is the current quarterback. I'm in full support of Dak Prescott. He's played well enough to win a lot of these games. Same with Tony Romo. He's played well enough to win a lot of those games that he lost in the postseason. I just need us as a fan base to understand if we continue to just scapegoat the quarterback, the front office is never going to be held accountable, and they're never going to fix the team from top to bottom like they're supposed to. Take over. I'm not finna shoot you. I've been cussing niggas out for 2 hours. So I'm gonna let you make it with that one. Appreciate you for coming on the stream anyway. It said, I was down with Romo while he was here, but since all the Romo D riders hate Dak, it's war. Listen, that's the crazy thing about it. The same niggas that they were hating on Tony Romo bad. They hated Tony Romo when he was here. But all of a sudden, they miss and they love him now that he ain't. These folks so damn bipolar, man. And listen, they gonna do the same with Dak Prescott. I'm telling you, they gonna act like they love Dak Prescott. You know, they gonna act like they went to war for Dak Prescott. They gonna act like they been down with Dak Prescott from day one when he gone. Cause I seen the switch up. I seen people that hated Tony Romo's guts miss him. No, you good, Takeover. Listen, that's good. Cause it wasn't a disrespectful joke. You know, it wasn't a disrespectful joke. So you good to stay, my brother. I appreciate you though for coming on here though. Real talk. After I saw Romo throw with his eyes closed, I gotta get behind him. Damn, dog. I say it's a 0 chance that we win with our current front office. Because listen, what is the threshold for winning with a quarterback? We seen guys that were backups win a Super Bowl in Nick Foles. We seen guys like Trent Dilfer win a Super Bowl. We seen Brad Johnson win a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? We seen some bad quarterbacks win Super Bowls. Do you mean to tell me you don't believe that an all-pro quarterback is good enough to win with? That what you're telling me? You don't believe that a all-pro quarterback is good enough to win with in the National Football League? An MVP candidate isn't good enough to win with in the National Football League? Building a roster around him, coming up with a game plan, executing said game plan. You don't believe that. You don't believe that, okay. And that's fine. Because remember, it's America. You can feel how you want to feel. It may not be the truth, but you're able to feel what you want to feel. Eli, because when you really think about it, Eli was never an all-pro. Never an all-pro. Had 2 really, really good, playoff runs, though. I'll give Eli all the respect for that because he balled out in the postseason. So salute to Eli. Hey, West was the same way. There's nothing wrong with thinking that. Because Tony Romo should have won MVP in 2014. He was a legitimate MVP candidate in 2014. His last healthy season with the Dallas Cowboys. So I understand why people, wanted Romo to get his job back. Said, can I generally say I believe in Dak Prescott? Yes. And take over, you're late to the stream, so I'll show you why. This is Dak Prescott's playoff QBR compared to Joe Burrow. Dak Prescott in the playoffs posted a 96.8, an 84.4, 73.6, 72.5, a 53.1, a 42.7, and a 32.4. Joe Burrow in the playoffs posted a 77.9, a 68.2, a 60.8, a 50.7, a 45.7, a 33.4, and a 31.7. Despite the fact that Joe Burrow, because listen, a QBR in the 30s is benchable. It's benchable. Despite the fact that he posted 2 QBRs in the 30s, his team as a whole was still able to win. Right? Because it's a team game. The defense showed up. They made plays in the run game. Yada, yada, yada. Dak Prescott, and remember, with QBR in the 70s is a Pro Bowl caliber performance. QBR in the 80s and higher is an all-pro caliber performance. Dak Prescott has playoff losses with a Pro Bowl caliber performance and an all-pro caliber performance. He also has a playoff loss with a slightly above average performance because 50 is average. 50 is average. If you're over 50, you're slightly above average. So that's sort of why I believe in Dak Prescott. because they are winning. Other quarterbacks are winning games playing way worse than Dak Prescott has. Also in the postseason, while people, speak about the 7 turnovers, Dak Prescott is 18 touchdowns to 7 turnovers. 14 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 4 rushing touchdowns, 0 fumbles. So if you look at 18 touchdowns, 7 turnovers, that is well over a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, and a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio is good. Anything over that is great. So point being, there are bigger things that have happened in the postseason besides the play of Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has played a part. He's had bad playoff games. He has had bad playoff games. But what Dak Prescott is not is the biggest reason why the Dallas Cowboys has lost in the postseason. That's all I want to articulate to people. I just truly believe if the Dallas Cowboys consistently have a run game in the postseason and they consistently stop the run in the postseason, Dak Prescott will play better. You'll win more postseason games, and you'll have a legitimate chance of winning a Super Bowl. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I want to articulate to my people. Also, 2018, I didn't see during the headlights. 2018 is actually one of the higher QBRs. He didn't turn the ball over. He scored 2 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott was the one that ain't do shit. Zeke had 20 carries and only had 40 yards or some shit. Like, Zeke averaged 2 yards a carry. Like, Dak Prescott played just fine in 2018. So it's all Gucci. If you see it differently than me, that's fine, as your prerogative, but 2018 was not so much of a deer in the headlight game, But neither here nor there. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, because listen, I was gonna stop the show about an hour ago. But y'all paid it forward. Y'all paid for the additional content. So I need y'all to make sure y'all take y'all hats off to everybody that was out here donating. Numbhead Neil donated. My boy Justin Kitchen donated. My boy Dustin Roberts donated. Who else donated? Because I saw another. Oh, my brother T Jackson had donated, man. So if I'm missing your name, please let me know in the chat box that you donated. Because we did this extra hour show for y'all. The extra hour that was given, that was for y'all because y'all paid it forward, man. I appreciate y'all for everything that y'all have done. On the way out though, man, hit that like button, hit that share button, slap the dog shit out of an Eagles fan, cause listen, them niggas were wild in the chat box today. They woke up, jumped on Dick early this morning. But you know what? It's all good. They chose to be here. Instead of spending time with their children, instead of going to church, instead of washing their ass, instead of brushing their teeth, they brought their funky, bad-built body asses on here to a Dallas Cowboys stream and supported Henny DeMoore. What more can you ask for from them boys, man? Listen, I might not have had 2 hours of content if I didn't have 50 Eagle fans to cuss out in the chat box, man. If I didn't have 50 illiterate, HIV-infected, poor Eagles fans in the chat box, I might not have had 2 hours of content to give y'all. So salute to the Eagle fan in the chat box, man. So salute to y'all. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Y'all the realest. I appreciate y'all. So yeah, man, I'll see y'all soon. Listen, what I want, matter of fact, cause I'll still see it. Put some stuff that y'all want to talk about next show in the chat box. Put some stuff in the chat box y'all want to talk about the next show, dog. If y'all got anything y'all want to discuss, put in the chat box, and we'll cover it next time, man. And even when the show is over, leave comments for the next show, dog. And I'll see if we can work it in. Appreciate y'all for the love. Appreciate y'all for the support. And in the words of my brother West Coast Cowboy, never look down because the star is up. Peace.